Peace and love, family.
Right.
Welcome to Candid Conversation. Hope everybody's doing well today. Happy Sunday.
Yes, hello.
I am King George, aka Mr. Knowledge is Power. And if you don't know who this is my queen, my beautiful co-host, the intelligent, my one and only.
Thank you so much, Dr.Natalie, Nicole, and happy Sunday, everybody. How you
Sunday.
doing, Miss Sharon? How are you, beautiful?
The movement.
Yes.
Miss Sharon, how you doing?
Yes, we are
Happy
so
Sunday.
proud of the movement. I'm telling you,
we can't say enough.
They are dedicated, and they're doing the most, more than most kids can do. You know,
Listen.
out there standing for hours at a time. I love it.
Exactly.
It's definitely encouraging, and we are so grateful because without them, where would we be?
Exactly. So we're standing on the shoulders of giants. We don't take it for granted. We don't
Not
take it
at all.
lightly. So salute to the movement, and hope
Major
everybody's doing
Turner,
well.
how you doing, sir?
How you doing, sir? It has been a busy weekend. Have you returned back to
From celebrating them babies,
yeah.
graduating, and all that good stuff. Graduations, yes.
Yes. But
Okay.
listen, we got a great show for y'all. We just want to say a quick shout out to our day ones who've been here supporting us since day one.
Yes.
We appreciate it. We don't take it for granted.
Right.
And if you're new here, welcome to the family. Again, this is Candid Conversation, and we talk about topics sometimes that are unpopular.
Right, but so important. So important. Yes. How you doing, Miss Marie? Thanks for joining us tonight.
How you doing? Happy Sunday. Did y'all go to church this morning and get some of that good soul food?
Oh, yes. Yes, we had a great time at Cannon Baptist Church. And I don't want to... Listen, forgive me. But yes, we had a wonderful time. Walked in to wonderful singing, a great word, very nice and friendly atmosphere.
Yeah.
Absolutely a blessing to be in the house today.
Yeah.
And then we didn't get a chance to say hello to some of the people that we knew in there, but we did see some people and did see Dr. Broadwater Sr. in there.
Shout out to Dr. Broadwater Sr.
Yes.
Salute to you, sir.
How you doing, Miss Erin? Thanks for joining us this evening.
We got a great show. The chat is for all of us, so make sure that you stay in that comment section because we love feedback, we love open dialogue.
Ooh, yes,
and iron sharpens iron.
Help today, Lord. It's gonna get candid today.
Yeah,
it is gonna get candid today. You got your quote, honey?
I do have my quote. Is that Sherry Aaron?
Yes.
Listen, congratulations to Sherry Aaron. She is in the building. She is our new District 3 City Council representative.
Yes.
Salute to you, ma'am.
Yes.
But yeah, the quote for today.
I wish she was going ahead and transitioning in right now. Like we getting ready to do Miss Cindy Barnes.
We need
I wish
everybody
she was
in there.
transitioning right on in right now.
Right now.
Yes.
Yeah, but the quote simply says for today, if you can't change a situation, change your perception of it.
All right.
Remember, most of your stress comes from the way you respond, not the way life is. So yeah, I heard Michael Jordan say, what did he say about fear? Fear is often, he said fear, I don't want to misquote it.
It's okay though. People will understand. They'll find it, they'll Google it. But give us the synopsis of it.
But, sometimes if you just think positive, you know what I mean, it's not always as bad as it seems.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I was trying to get the quote that Michael Jordan said. But yeah, you just have to, because tough times don't last, tough people do.
That's right. That's right.
You know, you can't appreciate and love the sun.
Yes.
And not expect the rain either. So.
Right. Absolutely. I've seen Miss Precious on here. How you doing, honey? Thanks for joining us this evening.
Welcome to Candid.
Yes, and for my Christian folks out there, it says God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of a sound mind. So that's how we operate, with a sound mind, not a spirit of fear at all. But all right, you ready to get into these topics, honey?
I am.
All right.
I am.
Where you want to start? We got, election results. We got runoff candidates. You want to get in order?
Oh, we got a long list for y'all tonight. Before we get into that, I just want to want y'all to be aware of Vigilante Inc.
Right.
This is a documentary. Our good friend Major Turner is in the building.
Yes,
he's in the documentary. Our mentor.
Yes.
But yeah, Vigilante Inc. Get you a copy. This is talking about and showing us how white supremacy is still alive and well. You know what I mean? And but they have suppressed over 4,000 votes right here alone in Muskogee County.
Yes.
And these people are not playing. They're coming for our rights. They're trying to silence our voice and continue to keep oppressing people of color, particularly Black or African American people.
Yes.
So yeah, Vigilante Inc. I hope y'all can see that. But yeah, make sure you get you a copy. Shout out to Mr. Palast, who was the one who did the documentary.
And yes, and so when you get your copyright from Major Retired Turner, you can also get a signature, you know, from our hero, our local hero.
Yeah.
And he has told me that he's got some more ordered in because, you know, they're flying off the shelf or whatnot. So make sure you see him. Get this video, watch it. You know, sometimes we can be disconnected from our ancestors, the struggle, the sacrifices. This will wake you back up. It will reel you back in. Please watch it.
Yes.
How you doing, Mr. Wilson?
My man, salute to you, sir.
Yes, our social media hero.
Yeah.
Young man, we are so proud of how you show up on social media with the facts and the truth. Continue, and continue to show up to the meetings, city council, and every other place you need to show up.
Right.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, and this is a movement. This is a way of life. This is not something that you turn on and turn off.
Right.
This is a movement.
Absolutely.
So we're asking everybody to get behind this movement because it's affecting everybody.
That's right.
It's affecting everybody.
Miss Debbie, how you doing, beautiful?
Miss
We love
Debbie,
you.
how you doing? Happy Sunday. We miss you, ma'am.
Yes, that
we need to
beautiful
get with you real soon.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
so
let's jump in.
Let's jump into those election results. Finally, we made it to May 19th, 2026, right?
We have made it.
And everybody had their different locations where they were going to be celebrating and kind of watching the results unfold.
Yeah.
And so, where do you want to start, with the districts, or you want to start with the mayor? I just want to do the local stuff tonight.
Yeah, we can start with the mayor.
All right.
Work our way down.
Okay. So with the mayor, we had Mr. Hughley. Where's my situations right here?
Yeah. Shout out to Mr. Isaiah Hughley.
Yes, landing at the top with more than 16,000 votes.
Come on now.
And early voting was at 11,000. We were so excited to see those numbers. Yes, sirree.
Yeah, folks showed up and showed out.
Yes.
But it's not over.
Right.
It's not over, but you know.
Yes, so
we're here.
Congratulations on that. That was amazing.
It was.
And then we had the next person in line is Kogel. You know, she was initially at half of 11,000. I think she came in a little bit at 11,000 at, you know, final total. Was it 11 or 13?
Well, the last I saw was
13?
the 9,000. So.
Oh, honey, I'm giving her too much.
Yeah,
9.
I'm like,
Help
wait a
today.
minute.
9.
Wait a
Help,
second.
bless the Lord. 9,000. So she
go.
was less than that.
9,400 votes.
Yeah, for early voting, right?
Yeah.
And so, listen.
I think she had 4,000 for early voting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, you know, District 7 really showed up and really reflected like we're not here for her at all. And I was great to be able to see that, happy to be able to see that. Because, you know, people will assume that you're on social media because you have a personal problem with somebody or you're hating or what have you. No. Across the board, they showed up real loud and clear that she has been negligent of District 7, and her votes reflect that. So, you know, we're happy to see that. Okay, real quick, I see Miss Jordan. How you doing, beautiful?
Is that
She's
Militia?
part of the movement. No, Miss Cynthia, part of the movement.
Miss Cynthia, how you doing, ma'am?
Yes, and then Dr. Broadwater.
The movement is in the
Senior.
building.
How you doing, sir?
How you doing, sir? Salute. Listen, we were at Canaan this morning. We didn't get a chance to get to you, but we were there, and we enjoyed every last minute of the service, sir.
Yes, absolutely. Great to see you. Next in line was Mr. Christopher Briot.
Yes.
With 4,000 or so votes,
yeah, he
right?
came in third. I think he had about upwards of 4,400 votes.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's surprising. You know, he came in at the very last minute on the last day of being able to qualify.
Right.
And he surpassed Chris Kelly. He surpassed LaJoy.
No, Steve Kelly.
I'm sorry. Steve Kelly. LaJoy and Dr. Bryant.
Colbert.
Yeah. Colbert.
Yeah. Yeah, so he shocked us. You know what I mean?
Right.
He shocked us.
So, I won't say that I'm shocked. I'm just thinking that had he started, like when they started last year, he probably would have surpassed Kogel. That's my opinion. He would have surpassed
It's possible.
Kogel And you know, these dynamics would be a little bit different. It would
Yeah.
be Mr. Hughley and Mr. Briault in this
No, I don't think it would have.
think so?
Heck no.
I think so.
I don't think Briault. He's
I think
not in
so.
that inner circle. You know what I mean?
In a small amount of time, though, them votes came from somewhere. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
But I don't think he has the same machine behind him as
that MAGA
Kobo
machine.
has behind her. But what say you?
Yes,
with
what
your
y'all
comments?
think? What y'all think? Hey,
In the
Mr.
comment
Noel,
section.
we have missed you, Mr.
Yeah,
Noel.
welcome back, sir. Welcome
Oh,
back.
where have
You've
you
been MIA,
been, sir? Yes.
but it's good to see you back in the building.
Yes. And then it was Briault, and then it was Colbert,
Yes.
Dr. Chiquitra Colbert.
Yes.
With
in
4,000 or
fourth
so votes. And then
Did she have 4,000?
LaJoy. Listen, honey, I'm
Well,
gonna
listen,
have to double
I got
check.
I got it all right here. Let me just pull it up
I'm
real
giving
quick.
people too many
Yeah,
points
we don't
tonight.
want to. We want to make sure we get
And
y'all
while
the
you do
facts.
that, I'm gonna read. Let me see. Miss Cynthia Jordan says, "Good evening. I'm so very proud of you guys. Love you for standing up and representing us in ways that we are very appreciative." Oh, love you too, ma'am. Love
Yeah.
you too. I don't know if you missed it, but we are so grateful to have you all. The movement. Where would we be without you all? I don't even know.
And
I don't
again,
even know.
we know that we stand on the shoulders of giants.
Yes.
So we appreciate you not passing the torch, but lighting our torches.
Yes.
So that we can continue
Yes.
to work. So thank y'all so much.
Yes.
And listen, it's not over. We are looking forward to getting back in the trenches with everybody
Yes.
and keep moving forward and make
Wait
this
for our
happen.
marching orders. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Okay, you got it real quick or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's see. So Chris Briault, he came in third. He had 4,718 votes.
Okay.
Which was 12.92%
Okay.
of the vote.
Okay.
Next, we had Dr. Chiquitra Colbert.
Colbert. Okay.
She had 3,460
Okay.
votes.
Okay.
Which was 9.48% of the vote.
Okay.
And then bringing up the rear, Mr. Mark LaJoy, he had 1,861 votes, which made up 5.10% of the vote.
Right.
And last but not least, Mr. Steve Kelly, 968 votes, 2.65% of the vote.
So
there you
real
have
quick,
it.
I'm looking forward to Mr. LaJoy, holding on his word, because he suggested that when our mayor, Mr. Isaiah Hughley, becomes the mayor, he's chucking the deuces.
Yeah, he might leave town.
In addition to that, he also stated that I think this is going to be his last time running here locally. He's going to move up to bigger and better things because they're having some problems within their Republican Party and support and all that kind of stuff. Because, he attends all the meetings and this, that, and the third, and he should have received the support more so than Kogel did. So,
Listen,
interesting.
Mr. LaJoy, the people have spoken, sir.
Hopefully he got it this time.
Several times they have spoken. They do not want your leadership. And it's apparent why they don't, or why we don't.
Right.
So
maybe he got it this time. So those are the election results for the districts and for the mayor.
Yeah, real quick though, Mr. Isaiah Hughley had 16,315 votes, 44.69% of the vote.
Right.
Kogel was in second, 9,188 votes, which was 25.17% of the vote.
So technically, we should not be having a runoff. But the way that this system is set up is to ensure that they have an opportunity to win. And so when I look back and did my research about how this, runoff, this 50.1% or what have you situation came about, it was during the time where African American people were starting to show up and represent more, and they wanted to, any way possible, to keep us from being able to do that. Oh, you can't just win right out. You're going to have to do a runoff, and you're going to have to receive 51% of the vote. And there's all these systems in place designed to hold us back. But listen, it's not going to hold us back.
Of course not.
Come June 16th, we will have a new mayor, Isaiah Hughley, and we are super excited about that.
That's right. Yes. And we're going to show up and we're going to show out. That's why it's so important to make your voices heard. June 8th is the first day of early voting, so make sure, bring a friend, tell a friend, and we need to show up in force to these polls so we can get this done and make it happen.
Right. Mr. Nall says maybe LaJoy could run for dog catcher.
Yeah, I think that suits him better, sir. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, that's where we are with the mayoral results, and the runoff is between I was about to say Mr. Kogel, Miss Kogel, and Mr. Isaiah Hughley, which of course there shouldn't be one, but we have one, and so that's where we're at.
Yeah. So did you want to touch on the results
For the district?
Yeah, the percentages.
No, I just want to say congratulations to District 1, Simi Barnes.
Okay,
Woo!
congratulations, Simi Barnes. Listen, we know that your father will be extremely proud.
Yes.
And we just want to say congratulations. We know you're going to do a great job for the city.
Yes.
Salute.
Listen, and she has her job cut out for her. She's sitting in between, and I won't say what I would normally say right now.
Well, that's candid.
But she's sitting in between two folks, right? And we are ready for her to collect them and reel them all the way in, honey. So super excited to see her sitting up there and representing District 1 in the best way that we know she will.
Yeah, she's here for it. So
yes.
Yeah, and we're behind you, so
yes.
You're not alone up there.
Yes, and then from District 1 we went to District 3. Congratulations to Miss Sherry
Again,
Aaron.
yeah. Congratulations again to
yes.
Sherry Aaron.
And she kicked butt, honey. She
did.
Butt. Over 2,000 votes.
She did.
Over 2,000 votes. She left them in the smoke and the dust and whatever you want to call it. Great job. Excellent job.
All facts.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And then we're on to District 7 where
District
we
7.
are having a runoff. Unfortunately, yes. Yeah. Between Miss Becca Zajac and Lakeitha Ash.
Yep.
So, interesting. The information for those two are still unfolding because what we want to make sure is that whoever we're going to support and endorse for District 7, that they're in alignment with supporting Isaiah Hughley for mayor. And if they are not, they will not receive our support, period.
Exactly.
We're not going to play games like that.
Yeah, and we need to know where people stand.
Right.
You know, this election, we keep talking about how pivotal and critical this election is.
Yes.
And we cannot afford for people to be on the fence.
Right.
We cannot afford for people to be lukewarm.
Right.
We need to know where you stand.
Period. And
silence is consent. So if you're not telling us, you're actually telling us where you stand.
Everything we need to know with silence. And so with that, again, we cannot afford any sellouts, no tap dancing, no tokens, When we support a candidate, we need to know that they're going to be there to support leadership, support the mayor, the vision, and all the things that we need to happen in our district.
Right.
And then what our division is for the mayor. So that's all it boils down to. People are making it personal. They're making it about feelings. The man has the experience. He has the resume to do the job, period. You don't give people jobs based on, oh, I think I like them, or oh, I think they're cool, or whatever the case may be. You give it based on their results, their resume, and their experience and their skills. And so that's where it's at.
Exactly. So running for mayor, that's not something, not anybody can run a city. Not anybody can run for mayor.
Right.
And that's why what you said is so important.
Right.
Because we need somebody in there who knows exactly what they're doing.
Absolutely.
Not somebody who has to get up there and there's guesswork and they have to, phone in, call in a friend and all these other things.
Right.
We need somebody with proven leadership.
Gullible.
Right. Proven results. Who can get the job done, period, point blank.
Yeah, gullible and going to be taken advantage of and bamboozled and, from this place to that place. We need you to have a backbone. We need you to be able to support the person, which is Isaiah Hughley, who's going to be our future mayor. And that's where it lies at this point for District 7. So we have not heard from one of the candidates. We have heard from one, and I'm looking forward to the conversation. And of course, this person impressed me in the first place, with that 311 app. You know how I am about our cleanliness in our city and what it represents for our youth and our community. So that part, got me sold already. But
I just want to read the results real quick from District 7.
Okay.
So Rebecca Zajac, she received 1,135 votes, which was 45.2% of the vote.
Okay.
And then Lakeitha received 946 votes, which was 37.7% of the vote. So that's what happened in District 7. There's a runoff. So we're going to see.
Oh, Miss Marie says qualifications, not training rules. That's right, ma'am. That is excellent.
Exactly.
Yes, ma'am.
Exactly.
Yes. We're not, you know, under this administration and with everything we have going on right now, we cannot afford to play around.
And
we
it's
cannot
serious.
afford to play around with weak leadership, with people that cannot be decisive. You know, we don't have time for that.
Right.
And we don't have time, as we have noticed on our city council, that they have called behind our backs, called Republican leadership, and squashed bills. We do not have time for people to be in alignment with that kind of foolery. I mean, because there's no reason for them to squash the bills that they squashed. None.
Right.
None. A music commission, what's wrong with that? Please explain to me why you felt the need to kill that bill on arrival. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
okay.
we got to show up.
Right. District 9.
Mm-hmm.
District 9. We got to run off, unfortunately.
Right? I'll get the receipts for that real quick.
Yeah, get the receipts. But I did say right here on Candid Conversation.
Did you?
That Mr. Anchor.
You did.
Will be right up there at the top. I did say that.
Listen. You did.
I did say that. I have no idea how he got like 12,000 votes.
Well, I think you do know.
Where did they come from?
I think you do know
Where did
because
they come from?
you were the one that was saying that these people owe him. So that's where they came from.
Unfortunate, honey.
It came from his coalition of people.
Yes.
Who want to keep this,
city council coalition.
Yeah. They want to keep these votes tied up and close to the vest so they can keep causing chaos and divisiveness in our city.
Yeah, that's the bottom line. And he was so nervous and he was so like, I don't know if I'll be here at the budget review on May 19th that he wasn't even sure if he was going to make it. But listen, his folks have delivered. They have delivered. They appointed him in the seat, and then they also made sure behind closed doors they delivered some votes for him, because 12, that is a lot of votes.
Well, it's not over. It's a runoff, you know what I mean? So, he was a front runner, but again, it's not over. We cannot afford for Mr. Anchor to get back in there, period. You know, he's already shown what he's going to do if he gets back in there.
That's
He was a hired gun, and again, he's part of that coalition of people who want to keep other people at bay while they continue to do what they want to do and move their agendas.
That's right.
And continue to sit high and look low. So that's why we got to show up in force.
And how do you show up to a Hispanic, a Latina forum talking about you care about all people? It's the exact same thing that when we say Black Lives Matter and somebody says all lives matter, duh, we know that. We understand that all lives matter. But right now, a priority is Black lives. Or right now, in this setting, it's Latina lives and communities. And so when they ask you these questions, you should answer the questions as it regards their community.
Yes.
And so it's just little things like that that just paints this picture that he's so MAGA, he's so Republican that he can't even, connect with communities in a way to answer the questions in a meaningful way.
Yeah. And can we trust somebody that we know voted for Trump? Can we trust them?
No.
Because we know Mark LaJoy is MAGA and he voted for Trump.
Yes.
We know this. This is a fact. We know that Steve Kelly is a MAGA supporter and he voted for Trump.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But they're telling us that they want to lead our city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is diabolical what these people are doing. And that's why we got to make sure that we're organized. That's why we got to make sure that we're part of the movement.
Intentional.
And showing up and showing out to the polls to let them know that we're not going to stand for it.
Yeah,
period.
We got to shut it down. And in addition to that, I've seen on social media, that was on his way to Kogel's place to get signs and things to support her campaign. Oh, how do you jump from I love black people and black people are my friends to you're going to support a Republican MAGA candidate? Well,
again, he voted for Trump, so that says it all.
Right.
Once you tell us or we find out that you have voted for Trump, there's nothing else to discuss. Because how can you support a disgusting man like Donald Trump?
Right.
You can't justify that.
And why African American people, line up to feel like they need to be nice and cordial and supportive and, inclusive in these types of situations?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I mean, especially as a veteran, you are an enemy if you exhibit certain types of things. If you're not doing things that's in alignment with supporting and helping our community, or you're voting for things that's hurting and harming our community, we're not friends. We're not taking pictures together.
Yeah.
We're not hanging out. You're not welcome at my home. You're not welcome at my barbecue, my cookout, none of that stuff. So I'm just really confused, and I really got the side eye for people who are like openly feeling the need to be nice and be kind. Because those policies and laws and regulations and the pedophile and the rapist and the racist person, listen, they don't care about us.
Yeah.
They don't care about us at all.
Yeah. And listen, real quick before I forget, I don't want to forget, make sure not only are we supporting African-American owned businesses in Columbus, make sure that we're supporting the water boys that you see on the street selling their water. Make sure you support them,
Listen,
those young men.
Dr. Broadwater said he is on Macon Road raving right now. All right, sir. You are something
You
else.
see what I'm saying?
And I bet he got his music playing.
Exactly.
Yes,
That's what
sir.
we're talking about.
Yes.
That's what we're talking about right there.
That is missing in our younger community.
Oh, man.
In our age group community, it's missing. Where are we at? Where are we at?
Right.
Our elders should not have to be out here doing this stuff by themselves. Like, we should have our own, making sure we rotating. And I mean, they're standing up for hours doing this stuff. And I'm going to challenge, the younger crew. We need to get out there and we need to do our part. Everybody that was supported by Isaiah Hughley or anybody in his campaign to make sure you got where you got, you need to make sure you do what you need to do to support his campaign.
Exactly. And somebody told me that the young people are soldiers and are for war, and the elders are for wisdom. That's what they told me.
Right. So,
yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, Corey Wilson says his wife clearly told on him. He is in that position for self-interest with his business dealings. Yes, this is Anchor. She showed up all over in the comments from God knows where, talking about what her husband is and what he does, blah, blah, blah. Like, how did you get here, lady? And you are clearly on the wrong page. And it made it worse, honestly, because people just saw right through what she posted and saw that was self-serving. So, listen.
Yeah, we know what John Anchor's about, so this is nothing new.
Yeah. So those new election dates, we got that early runoff. Yeah. And it's only 1 week, June 8th through the 12th.
June 8th to the 12th.
7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Make sure that you are showing up. We already know the statistics of people not coming back to the polls during the runoff. And the other side, they're hoping for that.
Yeah, well,
so
guess
we
what?
gotta show up.
There's no excuse, right? There's no excuse. You know what the dates are in advance. Make sure you get in there one of those days and vote early. Like, the voting early numbers were excellent. I mean, you guys really did a great job showing up in advance for Mr. Isaiah Hughley, and we got to do that again and again and again. So, in addition to those early voting dates, the election date is June 12th.
You've got mail.
Did I say that right?
Not June
16th.
Yeah.
Honey.
Yeah, well, that's
June
why I'm
16th.
here.
Thank you. June 16th. So, 8 through 12 for early voting, and then June 16th is the election day, okay? And so, listen, we got to rally up the troops.
Yeah.
We got to make sure that we, get people to the polls. Now, I'm going to tell you, I met an elderly lady the other day, and she was like, y'all got to make sure we know who to vote for. Yeah. Not during the week, before. She's like, I'm an early voter. And she repeated herself multiple times. I said, ma'am, I will be back with a ballot and some information for you. Yeah. Listen, folks, people are ready to vote. They are going to vote. They're going to show up. They want an early vote. We got to make sure that we help them get where they need to get and give them the information they want to learn about the candidates and who they should vote for and how they should vote. We got to make sure we do that. We got to make sure we support our community.
Exactly. And that's why being an informed voter is so important. Right. We ran into a young man who told us that he was a felon. Yeah. And he couldn't vote. Quick. But we explained to him the new law and what the rules are for those who are convicted felons. They can absolutely vote, but there are stipulations. but you can absolutely vote. So we got to get the word out.
And we got him some literature.
We
Listen,
did.
we pulled right on over, gave him some literature, and hopefully, he understood what we was trying to explain.
Yeah, I think he got it.
Good.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. All right, honey. So we've done the runoff candidates. We've done the new election dates. We want to talk about some runoff endorsements.
Yeah, we can. We can. So we saw in the Echo Courier Latina, shout out to Mr. Wayne Hill.
Yes.
Salute to you, sir.
Yes, yes.
That Dr. Marsh has come out publicly and endorses Isaiah Hughley for mayor. So, yeah, so that's great. We appreciate it, sir. Mr. Hughley, like I said, we can't say enough about the best person for the job.
Right.
But for Dr. Marsh to come out and publicly endorse him, that speaks volumes.
Listen, anybody that got good sense, right? And if you have worked hard on this earth, meaning you are a veteran, meaning you have a career, meaning you have went to school, meaning you are a business owner and an entrepreneur, you know good and well Kogel is not mayor material. You just know that. You know it. And you can have a small business, but that does not mean that you are mayor material.
Yeah.
And then you look at the black and white, the resume of it all. She doesn't have a clue as a District 7 counselor. She sits up there, we can't afford that kind of stuff as a mayor. And these times, we cannot afford it. So anybody with good sense, you know better. And if you are not, or if you are thinking about supporting her, I would just like to know why. And please give me some understanding, because I just can't understand that.
Yeah, and politics, we can respectfully disagree in politics.
Right.
But at the same time, when you know someone is not qualified, I mean, come on, that lets us know right there that this is not about, this is not about the best person for the job.
Right. And Miss Sherry says, Miss Sharon says, make sure you get your absentee ballot early. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you for pointing that out. But yeah, we cannot afford for people not to show up during this runoff.
Yes. So that's where we're at with the dates and the endorsements. Of course, we have endorsed Mr. Isaiah Hughley for mayor, and we're looking forward to District 9 and District 7 once we hear back and get some information from those candidates. District 9 is kind of a given if you think about it. Of course, Anchor is not in support of Mr. Hughley, so it's kind of a given, but it's the principle of the matter. If somebody sends you an email, if somebody contacts you as a citizen, you're not elected yet, we want to be able to know that you're going to respond.
Right.
And this is not setting the precedent of what we're going to get once you actually get in the seat. So emails have been sent, and we're just waiting on responses.
Right. So moving right along.
Yes, we are moving right along to District 7. And I think we kind of talked about that, the importance of this district, and those two ladies who are in the runoff. Yeah. And the numbers didn't lie. Kogel did not get, she only got 2 high percentages of voting in that area. And those were areas that were close to uptown, downtown, whatever they want to call it.
Yeah, that was a given for me.
Yeah. Here around South Lumpkin, North Lumpkin, in the gutter, she did not receive over 30%, and sometimes over 5% in some of the areas. So District 7 spoke really loud and clear that she's not it, and therefore we're looking for a candidate that's also going to represent and support Isaiah Hughley. Period.
Right. I agree.
Let's see. Ms. Sharon says, Cook is not respectful to the people who appear on the council's agenda. She and others are not in their seats to listen. Okay, I think I understood that. Kogel is just a placeholder for the MAGAs. That's right.
That's it. That's all.
Yeah, she's a mouthpiece for Davis and Allen and the rest of those.
Yeah,
and
the rest of their lobbyists.
Yes, that's all she is. Listen.
So that's why we know it's not about her qualifications. We know it's not about that. She's not qualified.
At all. And Davis specifically said in one of their meetings that I caught on video that she could connect to both sides. Well, I hope these results showed you better that she couldn't.
Yeah, we know that.
She got a few folk. She got a few. but she is not connecting to both sides as she thought she would. So yeah, so District 7 has been an interesting situation from the beginning, right? We started off with Chris Kelly running, Mr. Averett running,
Marquise Averett,
and then Becca. We started off with those three. Mr. Kelly withdrew. Mr. Averett transitioned to District 140. Oh, and shout out and congratulations to Teddy Reese.
Yeah, we forgot to mention Teddy Reese.
Epic win.
Salute to you, sir.
Epic win. Epic. He cleaned house as well. Congratulations, sir. And then, Becca has been there the entire time. So, well, what's your thoughts with District 7?
Listen, District 7 has had some ups and downs. If you know anything about District 7 historically, I'm from District 7. Lived in District 7, Fort Benning Road, went to Eddy Middle School, went to South Columbus Elementary. We have never had African American representation in District 7. We've never had it. You know what I mean? And if you look at the South Side or SoCo of District 7, it looks totally different than what it looked like when I was a kid and when I was a teenager growing up in Columbus. It is horrific. It's terrible. So leadership in District 7 has not been great. And it reflects on how it looks.
Yeah.
I mean, now there's other nuances and things that contribute to that, like our people not spending our own dollars in our own community. You know what I mean? That contributes to why the community looks the way it looks.
Right.
But yeah, we got to show up. It's vital to have somebody in District 7 who can relate to everyone in District 7, not just those in Uptown, not just those on Broadway and going further north. We need someone in there who can relate to those in South Columbus as well.
Real quick, Ms. Jordan says, members of our community, you don't want to be left out of being part of history, making a movement. Please vote early. This is your voice. That's right.
Exactly. The right side of history.
Yes, the right side. The right
some
side.
people going to be on the other side.
Yeah.
That look like us.
That's right. And
I mean?
there's a lot of that going on, unfortunately, in our community. And I want to know, where's the conviction? Where's the heart? Where is the, do you have amnesia about where our people came from, what has happened in this country, and what's still going on in this country? And before you transition into what you're going to say, I just want to share, I want to recall that how things got real for me. It's always been real for me. As a veteran, as an African-American woman in these United States, it's always been real. But last year, it got real when more than 300,000 women lost their jobs. When I read that news article, that pierced me in my heart. Then it was SNAP benefits, or food was running out for people who needed food, right? And you got the government don't want to pay money or don't want to extend or what have you. And then it was the government was shut down for over 40 days, right? I have been so serious about locally who we support since last year, when all of these things were hitting me hard in the face, that wow, our national government is out of control and local elections matter. And if we don't have people in place to fight for us and to stand up for us and do what's right, we are on our way to damnation. It's already bad. So it has been real.
Yeah, it's getting worse with this gerrymandering and them gutting the Voting Rights Act. It's getting worse, and they're trying to take us back to Jim Crow, period. It's the same stuff, different day, and that's what they're trying to do. Yeah. And that's why we got to look at people that look like us with a side eye when you're helping the oppressor oppress us. Right. You know what I mean? And that's what makes us so angry.
What a smile. So, initially in District 7, we championed Chris Kelly, right? The people's champ, right? So I've been here since 2017. When we go out to events, different things, we've seen him in the public. He's always been very nice, from a distance, but you never really know people until you get to know people. But he's always been very nice. He has a beautiful wife. And so just based on the fact that, we understood he was from District 7. We understood he's been in this community for a long time. And we understood that God had called him, and there was this whole situation, 7 years, and prepared him to be the District 7 rep. We supported we endorsed him as the person for District 7.
Yeah.
Okay, out of the 3 people, that was Becca and Averett. Mind you, I'm not from Columbus, Georgia. I don't know Chris Kelly from anybody until, what I've recently learned. I definitely don't know Mr. Averett from anybody, and I don't know Becca. So everybody that's running in District 7, we've had to do our research. We've had to give them the benefit of the doubt. We've had to use some trust and discernment to, make our decisions.
Exactly. And that's how we make our decisions. We try to make sure that we do our due diligence so that we can inform the people of who we believe is the best candidate for the job and who's the best candidate for the district, whether it be 7, whether it be 3 or otherwise. Right.
So, as it unfolds, we're supporting his campaign. We're having conversations. And I'm just going to say this, I'm a very direct person. My communication is direct. Being first from my mama and my dad, they're both very direct people. Yeah. But another thing, I've never heard my dad use profanity. I've never heard him curse. He's always been a gentleman. He's always been, respectful. And I don't think he curses at all. I just don't think that. So I carry myself in a certain way, and I expect that when I'm in a man's presence, that they carry themselves a certain way. And, grown men will be like, I'm grown and I can say what I want to say. But guess what? My husband does not curse and use all kind of profanity. Like, we just don't have that type of conversation. And, I get that people are grown and people can say what they want to say and how they want to say it. But, I'm old school, I guess, and it's a respect thing for me. So I said that to say that I'm losing my train of thought of where I was going. Yes, darn, honey, where was I going with that?
Well, I'm not sure, but I can go ahead and segue into what I believe. So here's the thing. We're going to talk about Mr. Chris Kelly and what Chris Kelly is doing publicly and what he's doing privately. That's what we're going to talk about, because again, it's already hard enough out here to be dealing with white supremacy and us being oppressed. We know the history of our people, but when you have somebody who's in the pulpit or in the public saying what thus saith the Lord, and the direction of the church, and showing up smiling and a Bible in one hand and telling you, what you want to hear, and then privately out here doing something totally different. Some would say that's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
So I think that's where I was going about the character piece, right? So we were, in conversation. We were seeing how we could support conversations, text messages, doing the things to support Mr. Kelly from our end. But that's what I was going to say, is that I made it very clear up front, because I'm a direct person, because I carry and conduct myself a certain way. Like, you might want to stay away from my page, period. Like, I don't want people to associate what I have said and what I believe and how I'm going to communicate with anybody, right? Of course, there's this thing of confidentiality. I know that if something's said in confidentiality, of course, we don't repeat that. But
well, I don't want you to lose your train of thought.
I'm not going to lose it, honey. I know it's long. I know.
All right.
But with that, right, information, when I say we don't know people, I mean, I didn't go out there and search for certain things. The information was provided. So that's where I'm going.
The information was provided by Chris Kelly.
Yes.
So again, he's showing up one way publicly. And now we'll just talk about, I'm going to give you his words.
Right.
And if you remember, he withdrew from the race.
Right.
And when he withdrew, I'm going to just give you his words. I'm going to quote his words.
Right.
Of why he said he withdrew from the race.
Right.
And if you're watching this right now, please share this. Share this with your friends, family, your loved ones. Please share this. We appreciate it. But yeah. So he stated, first of all, he said that the attendance of all of these individuals was by design. Keep that in mind. Chris Kelly said this. Now, Chris Kelly sent us mugshots.
Yes.
He sent us mugshots of Mr. Marquise Averett.
Yes.
A long list of his arrest records.
Yes.
Chris Kelly, this is what he's doing. But publicly, he's calling other people toxic, but I'm going to quote his words. Times like this, times like these, call for all of us to sacrifice for the greater good. These are his words. Mm-hmm. Our political space in the community has become extremely toxic. Mm-hmm. Now, Chris Kelly, are you talking about the extreme toxicity that you're contributing to?
Right.
Let's go further. It has become a cesspool of division. Mm-hmm. Are you talking about the cesspool of division that you're contributing to?
Yes.
We're talking about Chris Kelly. And it has threatened to destroy not only the gains of the past, but the opportunities, the hopes, and the dreams of generations to come. Mm-hmm. Are you talking about you? Are you including yourself in this? Mm-hmm. Because this is what he's doing and this is what he does. Mm-hmm. Privately, he's throwing darts. Privately, he's sharing mugshots and he's sharing information. But publicly, he's talking about in times like this, in times like these.
Love and unity.
Right. It's become toxic and people are mudslinging. This is what he's talking about.
Yes.
And again, this man, you know, a wolf can quote scriptures, but it's still a wolf.
Yes.
That's what he's out here doing.
Yes.
He's playing a dirty game. And I'll go further. He has shared information with us to undermine the credibility and the campaign of Isaiah Hughley. Mm-hmm. He's privately supporting Joanne Cogle. Mm-hmm. Now, if you know that he's come out publicly for Joanne Cogle, put it in the comment section. Mm-hmm. Chris Kelly is out here campaigning for Joanne Cogle privately and publicly painting himself as a saint.
Right.
Showing up with a smile and a Bible and telling us and telling the community and telling the public that thus saith the Lord and he only wants to do God's will.
Right.
We're talking about Chris Kelly. But we can go further. Again, he's out here trying to undermine Mr. Hughley's campaign. He sent us information. We didn't go looking for anything, and we don't ever go looking for anything.
Right.
People are sending us stuff, and we can decide if we want to share it or not.
Right. And people are telling us stuff, and and then you get on social media and say you ran or you're running a clean campaign. You might want to be mindful of the words that you use and how you show up, because I don't say anything that I can't repeat. We're not saying things that we can't repeat.
Right.
We're not sharing and having private conversations about things that we can't repeat. But when you do those types of things and then you turn around and you get in the public and separate yourself and try to pretend as if, you're the problem and I'm the saint, that's where we have a problem. And
that's what he's doing. And he's doubling down on him being the saint, him being the one who's trying to bring everybody together, and him trying to champion unity and tell everybody else that he's tired of the chaos and the division that's going on with politics, which is part of the reason why he decided to take a step back.
Right.
But let me go further, and I quote: "This is Chris Kelly. When asked whether he might run for another office, Kelly left the door open. Quote: This is what he said. I don't do this for position and title," he said. And if God so moves, if God so moves, then hopefully these people are not so disgusted with me for stepping out now. We're disgusted with you. We're disgusted. Why are we disgusted? Because you're publicly out here telling people that it's God this and God that and God told you to do this. Did God tell you to send us that information about Hughley's campaign? Did God tell you to send out mugshots about Mr. Averett? Did God tell you to do that too?
And then you send these mugshots for Mr. Averett, and of course we confirm the information. We share it because voter empowerment means that we need to know exactly what we're getting when we decide to vote or endorse a candidate. And then you invite him to your withdrawal press release or what have you. You hug him up, you slap him up, you hug him and everything, like everything is good, and you tell everybody publicly that he's doing great things, but that's not the conversation that we had. That's not what you told us. And so for me, if I conduct myself in a manner like that, I'm not going to pretend in somebody's face like we're best buddies and we're friends and I'm wishing you the best when I know good and well I'm not. I'm not going to do that.
Exactly. So why are we sharing this with y'all? We're sharing this because this guy continuously shows up on social media and in the public and continues to try to paint himself as a saint. That's what he's doing.
Well,
but privately,
he's
exactly.
Dishonest, yeah.
Privately, he's out here trying to set traps, and he's out here sending information over here and doing things over there in secret.
And I can't help but think the same mugshots that we received, somebody else received as well. And that's what we saw on social media for the opposite party.
Exactly.
So, you know, y'all can read between lines there. So we did not share that mugshot, of course, because we are not in support of that. But in support of his campaign, we did share certain mugshots.
Yeah, we shared Marquise Avery's mugshot.
And he knows we shared it because he provided it. And of course, you know, we have the receipts. I always keep receipts for everything. And so to publicly invite Gaskins and Becca and Avery and Jason Patterson and all these people in this one space talking about unity and love and what have you, when behind the scenes you are divisive, you are the one providing the information to cause, you know,
toxicity and division.
All of those things. We have a concern with that. We have a concern with that. And so that's just the bottom line. And just like I understand, you know, we're grown enough to understand that people have private conversations. And if you can have a private conversation with us the way that you have, then you're likely having private conversations about other things as well. And so if you have any questions for myself or George about anything, please let us know. Please let us know.
Exactly. But let me continue with his words.
Help today.
I don't do this for position and title. And if God so moves, then hopefully these people are not so disgusted with me for stepping out now. Stepping out now that they'll support me again. So let's talk about again. Now he went on Matthew Sanchez's platform. And you can go look this up on YouTube. He went on Matthew Sanchez's platform. And Matthew asked him, will you run again in District 7? He said no, he would not run again in District 7. That's interesting because guess what? We found out he does not live in District 7. How about that? Chris Kelly does not live in District 7. But he's telling people, if God so moves, and if God so loved the world, and God this and God that, he doesn't live in District 7. He's telling the public that he lives in District 7. He's telling the public that every other candidate is toxic. Every other candidate is in a cesspool of division. Every other candidate is causing chaos. But he's here to bring unity. And that's the type of game he's playing right now.
And it's dishonest. It's dishonest because, of course, again, we do have the receipts about, you know, his disclosure suggested that he lived at a certain address.
Right.
Okay. When you visit that certain address, the person that lives there is going to tell you who lives there. The people in the community is going to say, hey, this person hasn't lived here. You're talking about the singer, what else did the
She said his name. She said Chris Kelly, the singer.
The singer.
He doesn't live here.
Yeah. So,
this is a neighbor.
Right.
I didn't know this lady. This lady said this. I didn't ask her anything. She just volunteered information. She didn't know who I was, why I was there. Chris Kelly does not live at this address. He doesn't live here.
Right.
So again, he's talking about God so loved the world. He's talking about God told him to do this. He's talking about God prepared him to run. So conveniently, he drops out of District 7. Why is that, sir? Do you live in District 7? And if you do, prove it to the people. Show us that you live in District 7. I mean, his address is public that he put on his intent to run for city council. So we don't have to lie. We got the receipts. All this information is public. You can go on YouTube to watch this interview with Mr. Sanchez. We have the text messages, and he's still trying to come on our platform talking about what he's, and I'm going to read what he said. What he wants to still reveal and all of this other stuff that don't, and continues to tell us that he works for Sanford Bishop's office. We already know that.
Right. So
why do you keep telling us that you work for Sanford Bishop?
Can I qualify the post that I made, right? I made a post with Sanford Bishop. He won 100% for the Democratic, to move forward to the primaries. So I asked, does anybody know where this office is? Okay. I think Mr. Thomas was the first one to say that Chris Kelly is the person to contact. I asked, was there anybody else? Then Chris chimed in and he was like, no. And then he said staff. And then he says, I'm the chief, deputy, what have you. Listen, we know that. However, I received a phone call from someone else in that office a while back. And so I was trying to learn where the office was and who all the staff that worked there. The comments got a little out of whatever, so I didn't respond to anything, because if you allow people, they'll tell on themselves, or they'll unveil their own foolery. Like, I ask a simple question, and then I also ask if anybody else worked there, because I don't know if somebody else worked there. Is there anybody else? Period. And if you read the comments, you go back, you can make sense of it as you will.
Great. So, again, I'm giving you his words. This is the text message he sent to us.
And I do have the voicemail from whoever called me from that office prior to now. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. And I'll just scroll down some. He says, this is the message he sent to us. I serve as the Deputy District Director covering 10 of the 30 congressional counties and supervise staff that are assigned to other tasks. So real quick, why, if you know a person, why would you have to keep doubling down about your position for Sanford Bishop? That's just a little weird to me. We already know that you work for Sanford Bishop. So why do you keep telling us every time you get a chance and lay out all of these accolades and that you work for Sanford Bishop? We know this.
Right.
But anyway, let's go further. You may recall when I attended the Role Model Academy Kwanzaa celebration, I gave out, and he gave out a proclamation. We remember that. And then he goes on further to say, with respect to my recent candidacy and decision to withdraw, I reached out to you guys to possibly discuss on your platform, which we're not going to have it, because we know what you're doing behind the scenes.
Right.
So, you're not going to come on our platform to continue to lie. We're not going to play that game.
And
but
we
anyway.
already watched you lie on the Matthew Sanchez platform. Yeah.
Right. So that's why we cannot allow this man to keep going out here publicly, smiling, showing up with a Bible, and talking about what God said, and he only wants to do God's will.
Right.
He only wants to do God's work. We're not going to have it.
Right.
But anyway, if you both are interested in truth, then I'm willing to shed light on what really happened and what happens behind the scenes. Now, did the Holy Spirit tell you to say that? Is that what God is telling you to do? God told you to do this? That's all I'm saying. That's the games that this guy's playing. A wolf quoting scriptures is still a wolf.
That's right.
I've remained quiet regarding some of your favorite candidates. These are his words.
And y'all can guess who my favorite candidate is now, so what?
But get this. But it's time to reveal what you may not know. This was a few days ago.
Right.
It's time to reveal. So these are the games that Christopher Kelly is playing in our faces. Well, in y'all's faces.
Right.
Because we know what he's doing.
Right.
Behind the scenes. He's sending us stuff in regards to Mr. Hughley's campaign. And you know what I mean? Trying to undermine it. And discredit what's going on with his campaign.
Yeah.
And probably also supporting Joanne Cogle. This is what we got going on in our community. People who look like us are helping the oppressor continue to oppress our people.
Right.
And it's sad and it's disgusting.
Right. And he's connected to other people who are, what do they say, birds of a feather flock together.
Exactly.
So, if you, listen.
Let's go further. And again, I quote, these are his words. These are his words. But it's time to reveal what you may not know, which is why I chose unity and providing a pathway for Mr. Averett, the same guy who he sent us mugshots of. He said he provided this guy a pathway. He stepped back out of the race so Mr. Averett could run and possibly win in District 7.
Mind you, that's not what he told us initially when he withdrew. He said there was a meeting. They tried to reckon with this young man and ask him to step aside, and he refused. Left the meeting upset and refused. That was then. Today, he's provided a pathway. So, which one is it?
All lies. That's all I'm saying. It's all lies. And a lie, like we were told growing up, our mom always said, a lie don't care who tell it.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So let me go further. Again, which is why I chose unity in providing a pathway for Mr. Averett over personal ambition. But we see some choose greener pastures and grander stages, while some do the work. So he's choosing greener pastures and grander stages. I mean, he's saying people are choosing greener pastures and grander stages. What are you doing, sir? What are you doing? So, again, this is what he's doing behind the scenes. This man is showing up. You know, you don't be confused with a polished image. That doesn't equate to a pure heart.
Right.
A polished image does not translate to a pure heart.
Right.
And this man is showing up smiling, but behind the scenes, he's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
And how many of you knew? Like, how many of you knew, you know, or has he shared information with you about other people behind closed doors and scenes, right? I mean, the whole purpose of sharing the information about Mr. Averett was to have voter empowerment and people understand. But guess what? I mean, apparently he also has a record, you know, that people have shared with us. And so at this point, he's not running the race or whatever. He's not in the race. But we also had that information as well. And, you know, when I reminded him of that, you know, he was like he had already told us about what have you. But the information that we received is not the same thing that he told us.
Listen, it's all lies. It's all lies. And we're not going to sit by and continue to let this man walk out here and paint himself as a saint while simultaneously trying to point everybody else as divisive, toxic, chaotic, and a cesspool of division.
Yeah.
We're not going to have it. So speaking of, while he's sharing everybody else's mugshots and everybody else's criminal history, let's talk about his criminal history. Mr. Chris Kelly, cruelty to children. He was charged with cruelty to children, aggravated assault, cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, criminal trespass, battery, and aggravated stalking. Now, is he going out telling the public what he was charged with? Is he doing that? No, he's not doing that.
And listen, I salute the people who knew and who did not share it. So when I shared information on social media about Mr. Averett's DUI situations, you know, there were people who came in the comments and was like, hey, he's got a pass too, blah, blah, blah. But they did not share the information. And, you know,
maybe they didn't have it.
Yeah, maybe they didn't have it. They didn't reference it. But, you know, he made sure that we had the information to share. And listen here, bottom line, again, I don't know any of these people at all well enough for anything. But I do know that this election season is not a joke for me. I know that voter empowerment and making sure that people are voting informed and they know exactly for the best of our ability what they're getting is important.
Exactly.
And who we're supporting and endorsing is important.
Exactly. So, you know, we didn't want to have to do this on the platform tonight, but it was necessary that we did this because, again, this guy is pointing the finger at everybody else as being toxic, circulating mugshots behind the scenes, and then coming out publicly talking about what God told him to do, and he only wants to do God's will.
Right.
But again, behind the scenes, he's causing chaos. He's causing division. He's in a cesspool of division. So, you know, it's diabolical. But people like this are dangerous.
That part.
People like this are dangerous. So
that part.
Yeah, we're gonna call it like we see it. You call a spade a spade. If it walks like a duck, if it talks like a duck, it's a duck.
And integrity is important. Like, you know, we're not big on having friends and being in cliques and groups that we're gonna just, you know, put up with or tolerate any kind of thing. We're just not big on that. And our community means a lot to us. Serving in our community means a lot to us. We're not better than anybody. We're not bigger than anybody. But what we're not going to do is get out here and just be one way behind the scenes and paint this whole nother picture to the public like, you know, we're saints and, you know, how you throw the rock and hide your hand.
That's exactly what he's doing.
We're not going to do that kind of
Throwing
stuff.
rocks and hiding his hands. He does not live in District 7. Again, he does not live in District 7.
Right.
But he's doing God's work.
Right.
And God told him to run in District 7 and lie on the application. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's time out for that.
Everything we've posted, everything I've posted, it's got my name on it. It's got my signature. It's got a picture. I stand behind it. I say what I mean and mean what I say. And as adults, most people need to practice that. We need to practice that.
Exactly.
We need to practice it.
Exactly. So did you want to add anything else before we move on?
Nope. We're going to move on to that visit to the Superior Court we made. We had an invitation to the Superior Court, what is it, hearing?
Yes, it was
on
a bond
May
hearing.
19th.
It was a bond hearing for Dr. Jaketra Colbert's spouse. And we went, and it was not delayed, but it was it was delayed for a different date down the road because of whatever reason. They didn't have whatever information they needed, but apparently her partner wanted to plead his case of why she shouldn't be scrutinized or why she shouldn't be held accountable for the relationship, the inappropriate and wrong relationship that she has with her spouse.
Right. And so, again, we've shared this. I'm not going to go into the weeds about it, but she was solicited for services for counseling, therapy, or professional services. And that professional service turned into, within a month, moving him into her home, within 3 months, marrying him. Ethically, that is not appropriate. It's unethical behavior for a licensed therapist, as she calls herself, to do that. And so I can't help but wonder if, in fact, this young man had received the help that he was supposed to receive, professional services that he was supposed to receive, would he still be out, and would he not have these assault charges and, different things under his belt again? So,
we'll never know.
As a community, right, we can't set our people up for failure. We're here to help and support. We have enough of our African American men in jail. We should not be contributing, to them going back. If you're solicited for a professional service, then that is what you provide, a professional service. State guidelines, ethical guidelines, what she did was not in alignment with it, period. So we were there. She was at the city council meeting instead. She wasn't there for his, bond hearing. They said they moved it back because he needed mental health eval or what have you. And, I didn't even see anybody there to support him. That's the sad part for me. I didn't see nobody there to speak on his behalf. I didn't see anybody there to support him and give a different perspective that, hey, this is what happened. And, technically in those types of situations, he's considered a vulnerable, population. And he was taken advantage of. He was taken advantage of, whether he thinks so or he knows or not. And she had his case. She had all of his records. She knew, what buttons to push, everything. And she pretty much manipulated and controlled the situation by moving him into her home and then also marrying him. And so I don't want to have any more conversation about it, but that's where we were. To see this and see him in person, it's an unfortunate situation. And, what's frustrating about it is that she continues to conduct herself and carry herself. I don't know how she sleeps at night.
Well, listen, but that's what we have going on. And it's our job to do our due diligence, properly vet these people who want to run for city council, who want to be in public office and claim they want to be transparent public leadership, servant leadership. Transparent servant leadership is what they keep saying.
Right.
Behind closed doors, though, and in private, they live in a whole double life.
Right.
You know what I mean? And telling the public that they care about public safety. And telling the public that they care about mental health.
Right.
And telling the public that, they want to do God's work and do God's will.
Right. But
simultaneously, you behind the scenes trying to tear down Mr. Hughley's campaign. And we're not going to stand for it. We're not going to have it.
Because if you shared the information with us, you shared it with somebody else, and that's why we've seen it on social media. And it's unfortunate. But, we are adults as people, and we choose who we hang out with, who we talk with. You see people for what they are and what their character is. And so we cannot continue, to, as a people, collective, support this type of behavior. We can't.
Exactly.
We can't.
Exactly.
If we're going to move forward, we're going to move forward in the right direction. If we're going to get what we need done in this city, we got to know what we're dealing with.
Right.
We absolutely got to know what we're dealing with.
Our own people.
Who's smiling in our face?
Our own people doing this.
Yeah.
Our own people are trying to tear down our own people and continue to help white supremacy thrive by,
for what reason?
Being behind the scenes, circulating mug shots or what have you,
right?
And then publicly smiling and showing up with a Bible,
right? And
talking about you running your campaign on transparent servant leadership,
right?
You know that's foolish.
And you know we have Role Model Academy, and I would think that. You see, it says Role Model Academy. That's every sense and literal of the word.
Yeah.
Literal. How do I need to say it, honey?
Yeah, literally.
Of the word Role Model Academy. So to show up in there like Chris Kelly did, Stephen Kelly.
Chris
Kelly, and be cursing in the parking lot, and Steve Kelly to be cursing on the inside of the building. It's disrespectful to me, and it really communicates what we have going on in our community. We say, and there was kids passing by, we say we're championing the kids, we love the kids, but we can't even, behave in a way and model behavior that's appropriate for them. They pay more attention, and research says they pay more attention to what we do than what we say. So a lot of what we get from our kids is what they have soaked in and what they've watched and they've heard and they've seen. Right. And these were two people who were running for seats, and I get it, people curse, but there's a time and a place to have those conversations. You don't do it in front of kids. You don't do it. Yeah. How you doing, Miss Bay, Miss Mac? How you doing, honey?
Welcome to Candid Conversation. We appreciate you being here. If you would please share this with your friends and family right now. Yeah. We appreciate it. We want to keep the dialogue going. We want to keep the conversation going.
Right.
So yeah.
And just in order for some things to move forward in the direction that we have to be honest. There's a lot of private conversations going on, and listen, and that's the division, and that's the toxicity that's contributing to what we're trying to do in this community.
Right. And if you're just joining us, we just got done talking about Chris Kelly. Chris Kelly, if you don't know who he is, he was running for District 7. He is privately undermining and trying to tear down Mr. Hughley's campaign, discredit people in his campaign and on his team, and also simultaneously supporting Joanne Coble privately. You know what I mean? This is what he's doing. He does not live in District 7. We know that for a fact. And if he does, have him show you that he lives in District 7. He put the address on his intent to run that he lives in District 7. He keeps talking about what he's going to do and what he's doing for District 7. Right. He did that. We didn't do that. So, like I said, the man is showing up in public talking about what God told him to do and direction of the church. Privately, he's throwing rocks and hiding his hands. Right. So, yeah, we got to close ranks to people like that. Absolutely. We got to close ranks to people like Dr. Jaketra Colbert, who's saying that her last name is Bryant when it's really Colbert. And
she champions mental health and, public safety when, in fact, she violated this young man in a big way. And, I don't expect people that are not leaders and people that don't have the background and the experience to understand. But for those who do, we know that what she did was wrong. And we know in context, behind the scenes, that what she did and how she behaved and conducted herself was wrong. And now this young man is paying the, consequence of it. Right. Imagine had he been introduced to professional services, not somebody trying to get in his pants and move him in and marry him, but professional services where he would be right now. Right. And it's not okay. It's not okay. Right. So, yeah, people who are out here trying to run for public office and trying to be role models for the community and out here talking about transparent servant leadership, we got to do our part to vet these candidates and vet these people. And that's why we have the platform we have, because it's not going to happen on our watch. All right, so Miss Foster, how you doing, beautiful? Thanks for joining us. She says, so people are not allowed to speak and debate privately prior to making public stances. Just a question for discussion. You want me to read again? Yeah. So people are not allowed to speak and debate privately prior to making public stances. Just a question for discussion. So I'm not sure what part of the conversation you came in on, but of course, you know, people have private conversations. They debate and discuss. We discuss a lot of things, you know, but what we're not doing is, how do you do it? Throwing the rock and hiding our hand.
Right.
What we're not doing is providing information to people that would sabotage their campaign or sabotage whatever they have going on, and not saying it came directly from me, or this is what I have to say, or, you know, standing on business about whatever it is that we're sharing. That's what we're not doing. So
right, and we're talking about hypocrisy is what
Yeah.
we're talking about. We're not talking about private conversations here. We're talking about the hypocrisy of Chris Kelly, who is privately out here throwing rocks and hiding his hands. That's what he's doing. And then publicly telling us and telling the public that he wants to do God's will. That he only wants to listen to God's voice and do what the Holy Spirit is leading him to do. So you mean that the Holy Spirit told you to send us mugshots? You know, is that what God told you to do? That's the game that he's playing. And then he'll come out publicly and try to defend himself. But you can't, because we're giving the public your words. We're giving the public quotes that you put in the Ledger Inquirer and quotes that you put on Mr. Sanchez's platform. So, you know, you don't have to run for office. You don't have to be out here in the public. These are your words. So if you're going to stand on business, stand on business. But don't be a coward and be behind the scenes doing little things and lighting fires and starting fires over here, and then publicly talking about it's a cesspool of division, and the community has become so divisive and toxic, and this race has become so polarized, and you had nothing to do with it, and all you want to do is God's will and bring people together. No, we're not going for it.
Right.
We're not going for it.
So yeah, you know, there's one thing to have a private conversation, private debate on how you feel about any and everything. We all have that right to do that. The difference is that when you share information that you want people to know about, and then you turn around and say, oh, like, you know, I'm clean, I'm of God, I want to bring people together.
Right.
But those two things, they just don't go together.
And again, we're talking about hypocrisy here. That's the game that he's playing. That's the game that he's playing. He's showing up in the pulpit with the Bible and a smile, but privately he's supporting Joanne Cogle, which that's your right to support Joanne Cogle. You know what I mean? But at the same time, simultaneously,
all of those folks,
you're trying to undermine Mr. Hughley's campaign and send us stuff to discredit this man's campaign.
Just like you sent us for Mr. Averett.
So stop it. Knock it off.
And so Miss Marie says, oh my, what a web we weave when we deceive. Shame, y'all pulled off the bandage. I'm sorry. Mr. Rogers, good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Welcome to Candid. We appreciate it.
Miss Sharon says, now we all realize that trumpeters will always get us to turn against us, especially when they are running scared. Listen, I don't know if they got him to turn. I really don't know for some people if they needed any type of motivation to turn. Some people's character is personal ambition, access, proximity to power, and, you know, whatever else it could possibly be. I just don't know.
Listen, publicly, he's telling the world, or telling Columbus publicly, that everybody else is toxic. Everybody else is causing division. Everybody else is causing chaos. And he only wants to do God's will.
Right.
And he wants to bring unity to Columbus. And he wants to bring people together. This is the diabolical game that he's playing.
It doesn't go together. It doesn't go together.
Hypocrisy is what we're talking about.
And it's bold, really. Like when I'm standing there at your press release, a conference, where you're stating that you are going to withdraw from the race because now this is what God has told you to do.
Right.
And you say that Becca and Averett are the best ones for the job, and you say all these nice things, and then you grab them up and you hug them, and I'm proud of you and you got this. Well, sir, that's not what you communicated, behind closed doors. And so while, for instance, Mr. Averett's looking at us crazy, you're the saint now because your hands are clean, because he has no idea you're the person who sent and put this information out in the first place.
He had no idea. And who does that? He invites the man to his press release. Invites the man to his press release. And we're talking about Chris Kelly invites Marquise Averett to his press release and then says the people that he invited was strategic. Behind closed doors, he's sending us mugshots of Mr. Averett, and then showing this man love and patting him on the back in public and smiling at him, and saying that he's giving this man a pathway forward.
Right.
I mean, how crazy is that?
So the bottom line is that if you don't get anything else from this, you know, everyone is not trustworthy. Everyone that's smiling in your face and, you know, you're free to feel like you can let your hair down and you're giving information to is not trustworthy. So, you know, you have to, I mean, understand like what you're dealing with in that. I'm going to read some comments, honey. Miss Foster says, got it. And in regards to Dr. Bryant, no, okay, in any context. And if, not okay, in any context. And if it's not true, you should speak to that. Right.
Listen, you
She's
cannot
about
dispute.
Dr. Bryant.
You can't dispute a fact.
Yeah.
We giving y'all the cold, hard facts.
Right. And I've shared before, you know, the receipts, we do have them. I don't post things that we don't have receipts for.
If Chris Kelly lives in District 7, ask him. He don't even have to give you his address. But if he lives in who's seen what he's done in District 7? You know what I mean? But again, the man does not live in District 7. He was asked on Mr. Matthew Sanchez's platform if he would run again in District 7. His answer was no. If he's going to run again, it would have to be at large or possibly for mayor. That was his answer. He can't run in District 7 again because he doesn't live in District 7.
Right.
Maybe he did at one point, but he does not.
Miss Marie says, is that being two-faced and a hypocrite? Is that trustworthy behavior? Right.
And is that becoming of an elected official?
Right.
He claims to support Mr. Sanford Bishop, or he works for Sanford Bishop, and he keeps telling us over and over and over, for some strange reason, as if we don't know that he works for Sanford Bishop.
Right. Miss Sharon says, and they ought to know they care nothing about them. That part.
Thank you.
That part.
Thank you. Please say that again.
Yes, ma'am.
Please say that again.
Listen, it's not enough access, proximity. It's not enough of it for me to sell my people out.
Exactly.
And to behave in the way that people have been
Exactly.
behaving.
You couldn't pay us enough.
Right. I agree with that.
All the hell our people have been through and still going through.
Yes.
People have been killed. People have been lynched. People have been raped. People have been maimed so that we can have a platform today.
Yes. And how do you align yourself with any of that? Anyone that's willing to support what this party represents and what they're continuing to do on a day-to-day basis, I'm confused. I'm very confused. Ms. Frankie says, I agree with that. There has to be a level of integrity. Absolutely. Heavy on being driven by self-serving behavior. Yep. Ms. Sharon says, that's true. Anything you do in Columbus, Georgia will be found out because people love to share info, gossip, dirt. Can't hold water in a concrete bucket. They will smile in your face, holding the dagger behind their back to stick in your ambitions. If you do it in Columbus, Georgia, or say it, it's coming out. Thank you for revealing this info. Okay, Ms. Foster says that's what people do and why we have to guard the work, which is different from gatekeeping. Absolutely.
Exactly. And
Look
these
how
same
long
people are
these
showing
been in
up.
These positions. We need new leadership. Yes,
Right.
sir. Yeah.
Right. These same people are showing up in our meetings. Showing up. We just had a men's meeting yesterday. Mr. Kelly's sitting in the back.
Yeah.
So again, we got to close ranks to people like that.
You can't trust people like that.
You cannot.
Because this is exactly what happened in another setting, and I won't bring it up until later. But this is what happened in another setting. People show up, they listen, they go back, and they tell, and then you got unnecessary issues coming out in the news. You got unnecessary issues coming out on the public agenda. Because we think that we have brothers and sisters among us, and really they're just there to take back that information to other people. So I hope that you're being mindful of this election being so critical and everybody needing to be on board to support the forward movement that we want for Isaiah Hughley. I hope that you are paying attention to your circles and to the people that you're talking to, because some among us are not on the same ship, they're not on the same boat, and they're, gathering data and taking it back.
Exactly. And somebody told me to pay attention to your circle before they hurt you. That's what somebody told me. When the grass is cut, the snakes will show.
Yeah.
And we cut grass over here. That's all we're trying to say. We cut grass over here.
Yeah.
So what you're not going to do is be showing up and trying to be, in our inner circle and behind the scenes doing the devil's work.
Especially when it's dishonest. That's all I'm going to say is, of course there's a level of, people vent, people say things, people, share information. But what happened here, I don't even have words for it. It's like black and white, night and day. And it's very bold. It's bold to behave a certain way in front of people and then turn around in front of those same people and say, I'm about unity, I'm about God, and God told me to do this.
That's dangerous.
And y'all are so divisive, and y'all are so toxic, and y'all are this. When in fact, you are the foundation and the root of what you're calling toxic and all of these different things. And so that's what I want more than anything for people to understand, right? It's not personal. Like I said, I don't know Averett. I've been here since 2017. I don't know Averett. I didn't know Becca. I don't know Mr. Kelly. But based on what we understood from Mr. Kelly, we supported him when he came out and said that he was going to run for District 7.
We did.
The champ, people's champ for District 7. And in that, yes, he gave us information to share so we understood what we was getting in the other candidate. Okay?
Right, and that's what you do. You have to properly vet these candidates. And again, when you find out information, of course we got to make sure it's factual.
Right.
And if candidates are out here misleading the people,
right,
we all should put them on Front Street and Humble Avenue. Right. We all should.
Right. Right. We got to hold people accountable. And, we have to make sure that we are putting the best people in representation of us, because, it's too easy for us to get in a position and mess it up because we chose the wrong person, or the person doesn't have the character or the discipline to represent us well. We can't afford that in this election. And I hope people understand we cannot afford it.
Exactly.
We can't afford people to sell out. We can't afford people's ambitions and, their personal, want for power to overpower what we need in our communities. And it's just time out for it.
Exactly. And so into the movement, the ladies and gentlemen of the movement, this ain't gonna stop us. This is not gonna stop us. We still gonna move forward. We still gonna make it happen. We still gonna show up. We still gonna do the work. We still gonna be in the trenches. And period, point blank. Again, we stand on the shoulders of giants, and people have laid the foundation so that we can be where we are today, and we owe it to them to make sure that we're carrying on the work.
And the thing is that this person is so likable, right? They're likable. They're welcome in every space.
Listen, Satan was likable. He was likable. Judas was likable. But you see what he did.
Understood. So I'm saying, this person is likable and they're welcome because they carry this title in every space. You just need to know what you're dealing with. That's bottom line. You need to know exactly what you're getting and what you're dealing with from a full perspective, right? Because like I said, if you sent us mug shots and stuff we didn't share, some stuff we didn't share, you sent it to somebody else too, and they did share it.
And again, this is what's going on behind the scenes, while publicly smiling, showing up with a Bible, and talking about the direction of the church and what God and the Holy Spirit told you to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've done research on these type of people.
That's called narcissism. That's what that is.
Well, I'm not going to say that, but I've done research on these type of people, and God is the number one way to really get folks, and
it disarms people.
You don't think, and
disarms people.
Well, if God said, and if God is using you, let's go. well, we got to think as a people. We got to use critical thinking as a people. We have to analyze what's being said. We got to, check and see if actions are aligning with the words that are coming out of people's mouths. And that's just the bottom line.
Right. And sometimes the biggest halo in the room is the biggest devil in the dark.
Right.
That's how I see it.
Right.
So again, when people keep talking about God this and God that, my antennas go up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because God don't need PR.
Right.
He don't need it.
Not at all. Not at all. So, so those two things, we was on the Superior Court, and while we was there, you had your men's meeting, your community meeting this past, was it Saturday?
Yes, it was yesterday, May 23rd, and it was amazing. Shout out to all the brothers who showed up to the Muslim Mosque number 96, except one brother who was in there for other reasons.
Yes.
But to the rest of the brothers who was there for the right reason, I really, really was, just amazed and appreciative to how the brothers came together for a great cause to talk about what we need to do to bring the community, these young black men, together so that we can be more effective, not only in politics, but in our community. Right. And, people showed up in force. There was a lot of great information. Shout out to my brother, Mikhail Muhammad. Shout out to my brother Tyrone, who was one of the demonstrators of martial arts yesterday. Okay. He has a dojo. He has a building on Milton Road, if you're familiar with Brother Tyrone. But yeah, shout out to all the brothers who were there. Dr. Broadwater Sr. was in the building. Yeah. And so many others who showed up for the community and for unity. Yeah, like we too grown at this point to be lying and being hypocrites. Like it's a choice, right? It's a choice. And it's a strong and bold choice. Like especially when you're dealing with people that are direct. And our podcast is called Candid Conversation. So it's bold to get out here on social media and say, toxicity and divisiveness when you're the root of it. It's bold. And I just don't know what kind of person could do that. And I don't know how long they thought they would be able to get away with it. But, I hope that people learn and understand, exactly what you're dealing with. And I think about the book of, is it Gideon? Is it that the book where it talks about, he had this large army and God just kept reducing it. Different little tests to reduce it. You got to know who people are that are, if they're with you or if they are not with you. And the sooner the better. So, Yeah, when they show you who they are, believe them. Yeah. Don't second guess yourself. Right. That still small voice is telling you, hey, be careful. Yeah. Watch out. Believe them. Right. We can't play games. We can't play games, and we can't invite the enemy into the camp so that they can go back and talk and discuss and, do whatever they're doing. We can't do that. Listen. While he's giving everybody else and circulating everybody else's criminal history and mugshots, Mr. Kelly was charged with cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Mr. Kelly was charged with aggravated assault. Mr. Kelly was charged with criminal trespass. Mr. Chris Kelly was charged with battery and aggravated stalking. These are not minor traffic offenses. These are not tickets. These are serious charges. But again, while he's out here putting everybody else's business in the street, he's not telling nobody else what he has going on. He's not telling anybody about the skeletons in his closet. So again, just you can't do that on our watch. Yeah. You can do that over there with other people, but you can't do that with us. Right. And Ms. Foster says, and guess what? You don't have to speak on everything. I feel like we have forgotten that every cross ain't yours to bear. Absolutely. Mr. Quinona says next meeting is the 6th of June. Okay. Shout out to Mr. Quinona. We're going to make sure that we put that information down. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. All right. And so the next thing to talk about is the session that's coming up on June 17th with Mr. Kemp, the governor. So basically, this is listen. Unless you've been under a rock, you should know what's been happening with the Voting Rights Act. It was gutted, and they are actively out here trying to silence our voice yet again, bring back Jim Crow, and make sure that they can basically just go out here and steal the vote and steal these elections. And this is what allowed them to be able to choose the voters versus the voters being able to choose the politicians. So, but go ahead.
Yeah, so the State General Assembly will convene for a special legislative session, and they're going to cover two primary areas. The primary issues that they're going to talk about are the redrawing of electoral maps as a result of what you just mentioned, and then also resolving the deadline regarding the use of ballot QR codes. State law outlaws the use of quick response barcodes for tallying of the votes after July 1st of 2026. So they have a decision that they are required to make, and he's coming together right after June 16th, after we learn, who's going to be in position, as a result of those votes. And we already knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Some states didn't waste any time, going ahead and adjusting the maps or what have you. So we know what's coming here in Georgia.
They put their elections on hold, so that should tell you how serious this situation is. And that's why we keep championing, making sure that people are informed about voting.
And who they're voting for.
Right.
Because right now we have people on council who have no problem calling Republican representatives, Randy and Carmen, and saying, squash this, and that's not what we want in city council. We don't want people smiling in our faces while we're on the public agenda or while we're talking to them and thinking they're going to support us, and all they got to do is make one phone call and a bill is dead on arrival with no explanation, with no reason, no anything.
Right.
And that's what's so important to integrity in this time, and people showing up truly as who they are. We need to know who people are, and if they have our back for real, or if this is a game for them. We got to know that.
Right. And listen, we keep talking about, some people keep saying that this is not about black and white. The history of this country shows us that it has always been about black and white.
Right.
So we need to stop saying that it's not about black and white, because it absolutely is.
Right.
And our people have been screaming since our ancestors were brought here in chains. We just want the basic rights, our God-given rights.
Right.
Freedom, justice, equality.
Right.
And even in 2026, we're still fighting for those same rights, those God-given rights. And they keep telling us that we don't matter. They keep telling us that you are 3/5 of a person.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's why it makes us angry when people who look like us are helping them perpetuate white supremacy and oppress our people.
And I would love to know why it's a boldness to be out front and center supporting people who are supporting the demise of our community. I just don't understand it. I don't.
It has to be some type of mental health, and we know about Willie Lynch, and we know about not Uncle Tom, but we know about turncoats and those who have been, been there to help our people continue to be oppressed.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's been happening all throughout history.
Real quick, I want to just give a quick synopsis of the budget review. We had it on May 19th, which, is election day, so they had it at the school center. There were 7 things on the agenda. It was the sheriff, Greg Countryman, presenting his budget. It was Reginald Thompson presenting his budget for the municipal court. There was the Superior Court clerk, Miss Danielle Forte, and I am super proud of this lady. Listen, she laid out the facts of how her pay was reduced $8,000 when she initially was elected to serve in this position. She laid out the facts of all the hardness, that she's, the rejection that she's received support-wise, and things that she's been trying to do. When the city council, each city councilor has about a $3,500, more than $3,000 budget for travel and training, and her whole office only has $2,000, you gotta be kidding me. And you're giving her a hard time as a counselor, you gotta be kidding me. So I was very proud. I know it took courage to do those things, and she even mentioned that some people told her, you don't do it, don't do it.
Yeah.
But we gotta get over that. That's how they continue to keep us boxed in, continue to have us putting up and tolerating with stuff that we don't have to, because we don't speak up and we don't have the courage to say what needs to be said.
Right. And if you show up to the public agenda and hold these people accountable, they will retaliate against you.
That's right. That's the truth.
They will retaliate against you. That's the type of leadership we got going on, or lack thereof, in Columbus right now.
That's the truth. The next thing was the juvenile court, facilities maintenance, the Muskogee County Prison, and then they went over the add and delete list, and that's basically where things throughout the budget review process, they added to the list, and things they wanted to take away from the list. I'm just going to say Davis was the first one. You know, he is just like, he owns the money of the city. That's how he conducts himself. He did not want to approve. He wanted to delete the finance positions, and he wanted to delete the HR positions up front. And they approved it. They complained about finance.
Yeah.
You know, they say the finance department is not where it needs to be, but this is her third or fourth time asking for resources, staff, based on the recommendations of the consultants they paid $649,000 to. And he said no. Basically, he said that, you know, they're waiting on a new city manager, and the new city manager might want to do things differently. They might want to change things around. So, in my inference, you can bet they're going to change some things around, all right, and that may mean some terminations for certain people.
Right.
So you got to be mindful of the people that you're putting in office, because if Kogel is the person that has to recommend the city council person, or the city manager, or the directors, or recommend firing, what have you, listen, they're going to have their way. They're going to have their way with Kogel, and people are going to be fired and terminated in these positions. Crabb already questioned most of the African American directors, their credibility, their skills, or whatever to even have the job. Imagine Kogel in office and what that will turn into once they get their way. So you got to be mindful of your vote. It's very important. The other thing is that crime prevention was asking for an assistant. They declined that. They said that they feel like crime prevention is giving out too many grants, and they need to reel it into a few and not so many. And because they have expended themselves with giving out so many, then they need to figure out how they're going to process and service those crime prevention grants.
Yeah.
So y'all, you need to pay attention. You need to be mindful. You need to know this stuff for yourself. You know, we can share our perspective, what we learned, what we understood, but it's on YouTube for the CCG TV.
Yes.
You must show up. You must be present, because what I've learned is that we'll hear people say, well, all we have is this in our community, and all we have is that in our community. It's because you're not showing up and you're not voicing your opinion that you don't want it. When it's time for zoning and all those different things, you got to show up. You got to know what's on the agenda, and you got to speak up.
Right. Right. Yeah. Okay. Speaking of, city council meeting is this Tuesday.
Yes.
If you can be there, you should be there. If you can't be there in person, please tune in. But yeah, we got to show up to these city council meetings to let leadership know that we're paying attention, that we're watching, and we know what's going on in our city.
Right. Yes, on the past public agenda, I mentioned how, you know, 4 bills died on arrival, you know, through legislation.
Right.
And so, you know, Mr. Allen said they have a right to call and talk to their representatives just like everybody else does. That was his simple answer. But the difference between that is that his call holds more weight, his email holds more weight than mine or the next person does. And so when citizens come on that public agenda and they plead with you to let us have this or please approve this, and you smile in their faces and give them the, you know, the benefit that is likely going to be approved, and then they learn that you've made a phone call, Crabb, Allen, Davis, Mayor, to Randy and Carmen to squash it, it's very disrespectful. And if people aren't paying attention and they don't understand why it's so important that we get good council people that are going to support our upcoming mayor, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to tell you. What is wrong with a music commission? I have no idea why that would not be approved. What is wrong with the African American woman earning and getting the pay that she deserves? She's been there for 9 years and she's not getting paid, or was not getting paid what she deserved to get paid. And then when Mr. Hickey suggested that not the whole $50,000 like the sheriff is getting and the pay that she's supposed to be getting, 43 something thousand, Anchor wanted to change it to 25. Let's not give it all to her. Let's just do 25. Why? She's not getting paid what she's supposed to be getting paid in the first place for the past 9 years. So it's discrimination, it's not fair, and we don't need people in council who are going to behave and conduct themselves in that manner. We don't. And you got people like Toya Tucker that's sitting up there, didn't say a word. African American and a woman did not say a word to support or be, or speak up for her.
Exactly.
They did vote. It did move forward, but Anchor had the nerve to drop it to $25,000. And of course, Anchor, Allen, and Davis declined in the vote. They did not approve it. But they had enough votes for it to move forward, and she's still not getting paid what she deserves to get paid. So
it's sad. It's
yeah,
sad, but
in
that's what they're
2026,
doing.
that's what we have going on.
That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. These are the games that they're still playing.
She said, Mr. Wilson said they will approve a Dragonfly Trail, though. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they will approve a $500K in research. Yes, absolutely. $649,000 for a consultant, and they're not listening to the consultant.
Right. And real quick, Corey, listen, my apologies, my brother. There was a men's meeting. I thought I put the flyer out to as many people as I could. So my apology is if you didn't get it. I know you didn't get it. I didn't send it to you. But the men's meeting that was yesterday at Muslim Mosque number 96, it was a great meeting. It was a great atmosphere. So my apologies, brother. I know you want to be there. And shout out to Dr. Hood. I can't say shout out enough to Dr. Hood, and he does not get enough spotlight. He doesn't get his flowers, I feel like. But again, shout out to Dr. Hood and the work that he has done in Columbus over the past 25 plus years that I've known him. You know what I mean? But yeah, he continues to be a trailblazer. He continues to show up for the community. He continues to be in the community doing great things and trying to bring the community together. So again, shout out to Dr. Hood. He was at the men's meeting yesterday. He was pivotal in putting the men's meeting together and bringing the brothers together around a common goal so that we can move the city and the community forward. So, he's all about, unity. He's all about spending our dollars with our own people and enriching our own community. So, salute to you, sir.
Now, you came home with some coffee yesterday, right? So did they have other items for sale or just the coffee?
They did. I'm not sure. I didn't really look into the other items that they had, but shout out to my brother Amar Tahiri. He is the owner of Tahiri's Coffee. Listen, if you're a coffee drinker, and we'll put the link in the description. He sent me the information. We'll put the link in the description. Tahiri's Coffee is some of the best coffee out there right now. He has his coffee in a few stores in Columbus, but shout out to my brother. He's doing great things, and he's a young brother making it happen in Columbus. So, shout out to y'all.
What I like about it is that you all were able to get together in a nice setting, right?
Yeah.
We talk about mental health, we talk about men's health, and oftentimes the first place or kinds of places that people want to get together is, smoking and drinking and different things like that. But health is important too.
Yeah.
And just being sober.
Yeah, health as well.
Mentally in a conversation, like very present, not because, I'm sipping on a cigar or something to drink, is important. Like, can you sit with your thoughts? Can you be honest with your thoughts without anything being added to it? So I really appreciate that he's able to facilitate a space and an opportunity for you all to get together.
Yeah.
And it does not include all of the extra foolery. I don't think people pay attention to how important that part is.
Yeah. Listen, if you have not been to Muslim Mosque number 6, I would definitely encourage you, brothers and sisters, to go check them out. You know what I mean? Go check them out. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised of what you find when you go there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It
They're all
doesn't
about
hurt to
community.
visit. Yeah.
It doesn't hurt. They're all about nation building. You know, you don't necessarily have to agree with, you know, with their position. You know, we can all respectfully agree to disagree. But when I tell you I love those brothers in the nation, I love those guys. I love those guys. And again, shout out to my brother Tyrone. You know what I mean? We always go back and forth about this and about that. But at the end of the day, I know he loves me. And I know if something happens, he going to show up and show out. And I'm going to do the same for him. Absolutely. And that's what it's all about. It takes a village, is what I'm trying to say. It takes a village, and we've gotten away from that. And we got to get back to that as a people.
Yes.
That's the only way that we're going to be able to unite, is to get back to that village. It takes a village, period.
Yes, and I'm telling you, they are pro-community and pro-love for African-American people.
Yeah, that's what you got to have.
I love that part.
That's what you got to have. Self-sufficient.
Yeah.
The nation is self-sufficient.
Mr. Wilson said, my uncle's funeral was yesterday. I was informed. Okay. Our condolences, darling.
Condolences.
Our condolences. Yeah, he said he and his grandmother went to school together. He will fill him in. Okay. Awesome.
Great.
And then Miss Jordan says, my Carver High School, Columbus, Georgia classmate, Dr. Hood. Wow.
Yeah.
Has always been committed to the betterment of community and personal growth and development. All right.
Exactly.
Okay.
The man has a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of wisdom, you know, and when I go to his office, I just sit in there and absorb as much as I can. I'm telling you.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about Memorial's Day before we close out.
Okay.
Of course, that is tomorrow. And it is not for veterans who are alive and well today. It's for those who have transitioned and who passed. I learned that Memorial Day was initially started by African American people because after the war, they were all placed in a mass grave. And so in order to honor them and to patronize like their service and things of that nature, our people created Memorial Day in order to honor our fallen soldiers. And so it has since, I believe in 1968, became a federal holiday and, you know, made a national situation. But initially it started with us honoring our people who made the sacrifice, who were just placed in mass graves and not thought of or considered or honored. And our people took the time to do that for them. So please remember, you know, our fallen comrades for Memorial Day. It's not about the veterans who are alive today. It's about those who passed away. Yeah. Exactly. So, you know, we hope that everybody's going to enjoy, I'm sure, this holiday tomorrow. You know, you get to sleep in tonight. I mean, sleep in tomorrow morning. Right.
Listen, we've been getting a lot of rain, so, you know, it's been serving us well.
Yes, I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan of the rain. I love it.
Yes, she is. You know, I tolerate it. You know what I mean? But
you know,
the rain is needed. It's
being from
absolutely
Florida,
needed.
right? The tornadoes, the hurricanes, and all the good stuff that comes along with it. You know, I love the rain. But tonight has been very candid, right? It's been very candid. It's been very candid. And what is something that you really want the people to leave with from tonight's conversation? Because one thing while you think about that, you know, communication can be funny. You can say things and people not receive it or understand it the way that you have communicated it. So I really want to say that if you have any questions or confusion about anything that was said here tonight, that you contact us and you let us know.
For sure. For sure. But I'll leave you with this analogy. Out of hatred for the cockroach, the ants voted for insecticide, and they all died. Even the fly that didn't vote.
Right. Ooh.
And that's powerful.
Yes.
And that's why voting is so important.
Yes.
Not only that, what I just said, but again, we stand on the shoulders of giants. And our people have made too many sacrifices. I can't say it enough.
Right.
Too many sacrifices.
Right.
To just give us the basic rights. For us not to take the baton and run with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we got to vote. We got to show up. I can't say it enough. You know what I mean? And not only that, we vote with our dollars too.
That's right.
When you go out here and spend your money, you're voting with your dollar.
Right.
So it's one thing to show up to the polls, but it's a whole other thing when you show up to Target, when you show up to Dollar General, when you show up to Walmart. You know what I mean? We vote with our dollars too. So
that's right.
Yeah, I'll leave it there.
Okay. And I think it's just very important that in this season of where we're at, that we are showing up transparent, we're showing up honest, you know, especially those who are candidates, especially those who are running for elected positions. You know, don't lie to people. Don't lie to people, and then do not, you know, throw the rock and hide the hand, or however it goes. Like, you know, I hope that was a lesson that was understood this evening. We want the best for everybody, you know, give everybody the benefit of the doubt. But when, in fact, you know, it turns out like this experience that we have, you know, people need to understand what they're dealing with.
Exactly.
And many of you might already know what you're dealing with, and you don't care. But we don't get down like that. We don't get down like that.
Not at all. Not at all. So yeah, I'll let you land your plane, and then we can close it out real quick. One more time, Vigilantes Inc.
Okay.
Please, if you have not seen this documentary, we will put the link in the description so you can check it out. Mr. Alton Russell, he's a part of this. We don't want to give him too much kudos. He's a part of this, but the man has suppressed or helped suppress over 4,000 votes right here in Muscogee County.
Right.
To further the MAGA agenda.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Mr. Major Turner, who was a victim of voter suppression,
right,
is in this documentary. Shout out to Major Turner. But yeah,
yes,
please go check this out. And also check out True the Vote. True the Vote is the MAGA vigilante organization who's out here suppressing and challenging votes.
Yes.
So, you know, we got to make sure that we're giving great voter education so people can make sure that your address is correct, make sure that your information is correct so that they can't have a reason to not count your vote.
It's a mass movement, you know, grassroots movement to take out people, a technology generated movement today. They can just go down a list and send in names. But in addition to Mr. Alton Russell, I hope that during this election season, people understand the importance of who you are in pictures with, who you are selling your soul to.
Right.
This man said his hero was a man, Doc Holliday,
yes,
who killed African-American boys for being in a river and swimming. You know, he said that was his hero. He's a classy and an educated man. What are we doing in pictures with him?
Right.
He suppressed more than 4,000 votes. And a white man in this video suggested that it was African American and brown people, Hispanic, Latina people's votes intentionally. What are we doing in these types of settings, pictures, begging for support, begging for access, begging for votes? Is it worth it? Is it worth your dignity? Is it worth the sacrifices of our people to sell yourself short in that matter? It is not. It is absolutely not.
Right.
And we cannot be in alignment with people who would choose that route and that pathway over, I'd rather go up the rough side of the mountain.
Come on now.
To get what I need to get.
Come on now.
And handle what I need to handle. And that's basically what it boils down to. We're not in no inner circles. We're not in no groups and no cliques or anything like that. And we'll likely remain that way. People will take this conversation and, you know, oh, I can't trust them, or oh, we want to make sure we stay away from them. However they take it, I'm completely okay with that. In all the years of my life, I can remember back, I've been this person. You're not going to come to me, talk about people behind their backs, or say things that, you know, you are not able to say and repeat again. We just don't do that.
Right. So
it's landed, honey.
Okay.
It's landed.
You sure? Okay. But yeah, you know, that's all the time we got today. We appreciate again so much everybody who chimes in with us, everybody who supports Candid Conversation. But don't let the conversation stop here, and that's why we do this.
Yes.
The conversations that are uncomfortable and unpopular, we gotta have them.
We gotta have them.
We gotta have them.
We gotta have them.
And we can respectfully agree to disagree. You know what I mean? But we gotta keep moving.
Yeah.
We gotta keep moving. Support African American owned businesses. I can't say it enough. Support your own. Take care of your home first, and then you can go out, you know what I mean, and spend your money elsewhere. But we got to take care of home first. And home is where the heart is.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, we're going to be here again. So come back and join us next Sunday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, right here. Candid Conversation. Peace and love. We love y'all. Be safe. Enjoy your weekend. And we'll talk to you soon.
It's been candid, y'all. It's been candid. Be good.